All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be checking out some games on the sim, not on the ranked ladder or anything, just casual games on the sim. Checking out a few pretty cool leaders, 4 leaders to be exact. We're going to be going over 4 games, and I'll have it all time-stamped down in the comment section. But we're going to be checking out Blue, Green, Zoro, and Sanji first. This is a film list. Really fun deck to play here. Really cool list, by the way. So we got Zoro and Sanji, Blue, Green, Zoro, and Sanji. Then we got Black, Yellow, Luffy. A small game of Red, Purple, Law. It's more of a little bonus game, to be honest. Just it's funny. We'll talk about it when we get to it. And then lastly, we got a Red, Yellow, Sabo game to go over. So no big news going on right now in the One Piece TCG world. Nothing crazy to talk about. So, and I didn't have any kind of brainstorming theory craft style video lined up for today. So we're going to check out some really fun games on the sim. All right, so you guys know what you're getting into. Let's go ahead and dive into this. We got the sound off. Let's make sure it's on 2x speed, and let's just go ahead and dive in. And I think there's I do believe there's a regional this weekend, so good luck to everyone going to that. I believe it's in Virginia. Good luck to everybody playing in that, and I can't wait to see the results. Okay, so I start off, I go first. I'm playing film version. I swing 5 at face here. Play out Nami. Don't have enough Dawn to use the effect. I take a 6k attack from Blue Purple Croc, by the way. That's who we're playing against here, Blue Purple Croc. And I take this time to establish Frankie, a 5-cost 7k. I probably, like, seeing him ramp with Jack, I probably should have used my Nami's effect to try and get some card advantage. But I don't know if he's playing Pudding or not, right? You have to be careful nowadays playing against any blue deck because they could be running Pudding, and that could wreck your entire day. Okay, 6 at face here. Honestly, I probably should have just blocked with Luffy. I don't know. I think blocking with Luffy there would have been a good play, but then he could swing everything into Luffy to take it out. 10,000 into my Frankie. You can have that. I'm not going to do anything about that. And I'm going to take 1 damage this turn anyway. That makes sense because he had three big attacks. So, swing 7 into, let's see where I go here. So that Zoro, by the way, that's the Zoro from the ST12 starter deck that this Zoro and Sanji leader is in. That card is so powerful, guys. How I can just tap stuff down, and it's a 7k attacker. Very strong. It's a 6k attacker, but you want to attach 1 Dawn for the effect. So swing 6 into the Jack here, playing out my Uda, excuse me, playing out my my 7-cost, another 7-cost Luffy, and an Uda for a blocker. Okay, 2k there. I'm going to block out. And then he's going to, excuse me, he's going to swing 8 into my Luffy. I do not want to give him my Luffy. That's too much. At least at this stage of the game. And he plays out 8-cost Croc to go up a life. Now, look at the board real quick, guys. This might not look like much, but that is 7,000 power plus attacks coming in here, no problem, if I need it. This is actually a very, very dangerous board. I play out Hina. Guys, if you have not tried out Hina in this deck, if you like messing around with Blue, Green, Sanji, if you have not tried out Blue 3-cost Hina in this deck, she's a card that says, on play, draw 1 if you have 5 or less cards in hand. The card is incredible because it's a 3-cost way to turn on your leader's effect to bounce it back. And watch this. So here we go. I'm thinking what to do here. I'm seeing how much I want to swing. We'll swing 8 into Borsalino there, and then 8 more into Borsalino because I want that card off the table or every card in his hand gone. He uses his 8-cost effect, his 8-cost character Croc's effect there. And then I replay out the Hina. I drew 2 cards off that Hina this turn and established a 5k body. That's like a miniature ratio effect. You know what I mean? It's not the same thing, but y'all know what I'm saying. So I couldn't save that Luffy there. I would have saved that if I could have. But watch this, guys. Okay, swing 5 at leader. If he takes this, he's dead. Okay, he took it. Like, the game's just over, right? So right here, it's going to be, I think it's swing 7, 9, 9. Right? 7, 9, or 7, 7, 9, 9. That's the attack right here coming up. So swing 7 at face. See, if he takes this one, then he's super dead. There's no way he's getting out now. So watch this, guys. We'll swing 9 with the leader. Unrest Zoro and Sanji. Hang on, I think he's about to give up right here because there's no way out of this. And then it's going to be 9-9. Okay. Pause. Yeah. So look at that, guys. That's what this deck can do. If you can make it to the late game and fill out your board enough, that is a lot of huge attacks coming your opponent's way. This deck is a sleeper, I think. If it had a little more support, I think it'd be something incredible. But yeah, you got definitely check that deck out if you have not tried it yet. This deck is so fun to play. Okay, next up is Black, Yellow, Luffy. And I'll have the deck analysis and breakdown at the end of the video for the few who want to see that. Okay, what do we need? We need speed at 2x here. The volume's already off. Okay, so this one, if I remember correctly, this was a pretty close matchup here. Black Yellow Luffy, I can't wait to play, by the way. Oh, here we go. Real quick. So I'm going to play out Makino here, and I'm going to set my cards. They were actually in perfect order. Well, actually, I changed it around a little bit there. Yeah, but what I'm doing is I'm making sure my Sabo is the second one, the middle card there. So that way, I'll take one hit this turn, and I'll block out if he tries to go through another. So that way I can cheat out my Sabo next turn for me for only 2 Dawn and increase my leader's power by 2,000 for the turn. So I have to block out of this one. Perfect. I block out with that Luffy. And now play out Sabo and do everything I just said. So anyway, I think I'll be playing Black Yellow Luffy quite a bit once EB-01 comes out. But there's going to be a 1-month time period when ST13 comes out. You know, basically, how do I say this? It'll be like a little period of limbo where ST13 will be out, which is what this leader comes from. But EB-01 won't come out for a month later. So I might wait about a month, and during that time period, I'll probably be playing a lot of janky stuff like Black Yellow, my favorite Black Yellow Lin, because I have an idea. I have an idea with Black Yellow Lin where I just go all aggressive characters, like 4-cost Katakuri, the new 5-cost Ace that comes in the starter deck. A lot of fun stuff. A lot of fun stuff planned there, just for fun. Like I said, it's nothing crazy. I don't think it's gonna be like some incredible deck, but I might be able to sneak quite a few wins in at the local level. Okay, so play out my Flampy here. This is why I don't plan on playing Luffy just yet until EB-01 comes out, because that Flampy card is massive. The Makino comes out with ST13, and Hiyori is already out now with OP-06. But that Flampy card is kind of just, it's almost too important. Like, I don't know if the deck will run properly without it, because there's one more card that's missing from this deck being complete in OP-07. It's a new Luffy card coming out. And then the deck is just completely S tier. But until then, before it gets Flampy, before it gets the new Luffy, I would say it's just a low A tier deck, which is still really good, right? It's still very good. But not having those two pieces does hurt a lot. Okay, so let's see here. This guy just takes a turn to establish his board, which is very, very smart. Because, I mean, number one, I was at 7,000 power that turn anyway. If he attacked in, I can't lose the game. I can even lose one attack there, and then I could gobble up his board if I need to. One thing that's interesting too, notice he has the Inozumas that have banish. If he banishes one of my face-up cards, it actually goes to my trash instead of to the bottom of my deck like it normally would, because it banishes. Or at least that's how it's working on the sim. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Right here, yeah, I use my leader effect to fill up my life again there. My leader's 9,000 power this turn. I'm swinging 7 with ace, 8 with ace, and then 11 with my leader. And then I still have my blocker right there in Sabo. He uses the hormone move, whatever it's called. And honestly, maybe what I should have done there was swung 7 with a... I probably could have tried to go for game there, but I think that'd be a little too dangerous. Now, he does get Kikinojo here. This is a pretty scary board. This is a pretty scary board here. But he's done the math on it, and he's going to swing at least 5 times here, or I think it's at least 4 times. So 10 at life, I have to get out of the one that I know I can get out of, right? So I'm going to give him a 2k counter there. Now this next one, I have to, how do I say it? I just have to take this one. And it's banished. Notice what happens to my Sabo. Instead of going to the bottom of my deck, it does go to my trash. Now right here, because I have a blocker, that's the only reason I can win this game. That's the only reason. Because otherwise, he could load everything up on this last Ivankov and just win the game. But I think he still probably could have won the game. I think he does something I'll talk about when he comes up just here. So he's gonna swing for 9 with that guy. That turn, or that swing right there, I think cost him. I think he should have swung for at least a 2k counter, like swung for 10. Because notice here he swings for 9 again, and I use my blocker on that one. Because then, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't have mattered, because he doesn't know what's in my hand. He doesn't know I have two Gecko Morias. But that was a very close game. I was sweating on those last attacks there. Very, very nice. Now he can't. There's no way he can survive a 17k. Okay, good game there. Bella Betty, that was pretty ugly game there. Like that was pretty scary. Okay, next up here we got a red purple law game. I'm sorry guys, this one's not a super fast game. This is just a funny game of like it's one of the things I love so much about cards. Every now and then someone's gonna bluff you. I mean, not even every now and then. It's probably going to happen all the time. Bluffs happen all the time. This is cards. This is like poker. You know what I mean? He swings 5 here. I'm just going to take that. Thank you very much. Plays out Borsellino. Looking back, I feel like I should have probably just got rid of this Borsalino and established, like, you know, just something else. But notice I have no ways of generating Dawn in my hand. So I take this turn to play out the Eustace Kid, use my leader effect, even though I can't get rid of any of his characters now, but I can at least establish one of mine. Okay, and then use the last Dawn there, swing 6, so he can't block with his Borsalino. Now here we go. Here we go, guys. Watch this. Ice Age, rest your guy, and look what he does. Swing 6 into it. He has 4 Dawn still left. Like, he's threatening Ryuma, right? I'm like, nah, he does not have no Ryuma. This guy does not have Ryuma. 1K counter. Good game. He just leaves. Who knows? Maybe he disconnected. But I feel like I called his bluff there. Because then what does he do? Because the obvious play there is just play Ryuma. My guy's gone. And I lost 1K counter. Lost my blocker. Lost everything, right? But he was trying to do something else there, a little more greedy. Maybe he was trying to play Kuzan. I don't know. Or another Borsalino. But that was just, you know, since he couldn't get away with that, I guess he just left. That was too funny. Or maybe the guy just thought I was so bad. He's like, why would he ever counter on that? I'm just going to leave, go to the next guy. But whatever the case is, that was a funny little game there. Okay, last game. We got Red, Yellow, Sabo. Cannot wait to play this game, or this leader as well. 2 out of 3 of the ST13 leaders I want to play so much. I don't know how to say this. Ace didn't really catch my attention, but I'm not saying it's a bad deck. I'm not saying that at all. But these two, Ace and, Sabo and Luffy, I cannot wait to play. All right, so we're playing against Purple Yellow Crocodile here. I've got a pretty nice hand. No complaints here. This hand is nice. I'm going to 2K counter out of that every time. How do I say this? Bon Clay is a nuisance, but he's not really that bad against me, if that makes sense. Like I'm not really that scared of Bon Clay in this deck. I think he's way more frustrating into the Black-Yellow Luffy deck. And same thing with Shiraya. Shiraya and Bon Clay, they're pretty annoying going into Black-Yellow Luffy, but Red-Yellow Sabo, I don't really care. Okay, sorry, that turn took a little bit. Do I have it on 2x speed? Yeah, I do. I'm just taking forever. So I played this guy out here. Oh, that's why. I was trying to do the math there. Let me go back real quick. So I need my opponent to be at 2 or less life here so that my Kid and Killer will be a 4-cost 7K attacker. Okay, so that way, so I come in for 7 here, he loses it, and now I can use my leader effect, put him on top of my life, give my Zoro plus 2,000 for the turn, and now I'm good, right? Like now my guy's pretty well protected. Bon Clay gets around that a little bit, but he should have invested at least 2 Dawn into that attack, in my opinion. Okay, but he couldn't, so I'm like, oh no, I'm going to lose a life if you're going to play 7 Lin. I am not going to give you that opportunity here. So right here, my first play should be just swing 1 into Bon Clay, by the way, but I'm actually looking at just ending the game this turn. Okay, so swing 7. That's another reason why I was absolutely fine losing life from the 7-cost Lin's effect there. No problem. Okay, play this guy there. Swing 7. He's got to give me 2 cards. We'll swing 1 into there. I technically should have swung 2 into it. Oh, no, excuse me. I still have my leader's attack. Use that. And pass turn. And I'm feeling pretty good here. Now, he was able to pop my my Zoro, unfortunately. He can have the Flampy. But he doesn't want to attack me here because that would give me another 5-cost 7K Rusher, right? But this is where Luffy's so nice, right? This is... Oh, and excuse me, this is where the 2-cost guys are so nice. He just quits. So I understand the frustration there. He was playing around it correctly, as in, like, let me not give him this ace here because it gives him a Rusher, then he could potentially lose the game. Because notice he only has 4 cards in hand. No Dawn active. He's in a bad position. But... that's where I feel like this version of Sabo is just so much better than the Revolutionary Army version of Sabo currently. You know, it is what it is. I know a lot of people would like to make the Revolutionary Army version of Sabo work correctly, but this version, very strong. Because my turn doesn't end right there. Y'all see what's next, right? I still have, what is that? 3, 6, I think I have 8 Dawn still, or 7. Excuse me. I have 7 Dawn left, so I can, this turn, I can go 7 with the ace that I just played. I still have 7 to attack with my leader. I could play out the other ace, swing 7, play out, or excuse me, probably Luffy would be the better call there. You guys see what I'm trying to say. There's so many things that could happen there. I could have also gone with Zoro. A lot of damage was coming that turn. A lot of damage, and it was all rush speed. Okay, so that's it for the sim games. And as usual, if you guys have any comments or questions on them, please don't hesitate to ask. But now we're going to look at the decks real quick. I'll try to go in order. Yeah, so the Zoro and Sanji deck first. Okay, what do I call it? Ugly Film. UG is, for those wondering why it's ugly, U stands for blue in old school Magic the Gathering terms. Let me move my face back down here real quick. Like in this game, I feel like people use B for blue and B for black. Well, in Magic the Gathering, B was for black and U was for blue. So that's just what I'm used to. It's just old school, I know. But that's why I came up with the name Ugly. Because the deck's not exactly beautiful, right? A lot of people would not like this kind of play style, but it's really fun. This is the list I was running. I only played a few games with it. I think I played like 5 or 6, and it was doing very well. I'll probably have an entire video dedicated to this later of Blue, Green, Zoro, and Sanji, the leader, because it's just a fun deck. I don't know how else to say it. The deck is very fun, and it plays very well, and it is hyper-aggressive. Once you have like 3 or 4 bodies down, it ends up being like 6 attacks. You know, it's crazy. It's got ways to tap down characters with your 2K counters, and you can bounce these back to your hand with your leader effect. Ways to cheat out cards with 2K counters. And where's my other 2K? This is just searchable by Nami, so that's what that is. I'm running 2 film in this, or excuse me, 2 puddings in this version, 2 Hinas for the card draw, 2 Boa Hancock. And one thing to consider about Nami, guys, notice that her on-play / when attacking is not a once per turn. So the same idea applies to Nami that applies to Boa Hancock. If you could start unresting stuff and attacking again with it with your leader effect, these cards can generate insane amounts of value. Just very, very powerful. Really good stuff here. Or even swing with Boa Hancock and then just don't swing again, unrest her so that she's now a blocker on your turn. So good stuff there. And being able to cheat out all these film cards is nice. And I'm running 2 Hody Jones as a finisher. Very fun deck. I definitely recommend y'all try this one sometime. Give it a try. Okay, next up is Black Yellow Luffy. I have not changed anything for my Black Yellow Luffy deck since the last time. What am I doing? It's in alphabetical order. Black Yellow Luffy. Here we go. This is the list for now, guys. What it will probably, almost 100% what it will change to is as soon as EB-01, excuse me, as soon as OP-07 comes out, these 2 Sabos and 2 of these Luffys will become the 5-cost Luffy that pops a 4 or less, and then I'll probably just keep 2 of these Luffys that you see on the screen. That is like the only change. This deck is completed. It builds itself. It is excellent. People might come out with some tech cards in the future because you can technically drop Garps and 3 Brothers Bond down, like, you know, maybe go down to 6 altogether or something like that. But as is, this deck is functioning very well at the absolute highest level. Okay, what's up next? Red Purple Law. Again, that one I feel like is done. That one has a little more wiggle room for however you want to build it. No, not 06. Whoops, sorry guys. It's Red Purple Law, just normal. There we go. This is the list I was running. Some people go down on these cost power reducers, and I do understand that. Especially in this list, I'm running 4 Otama, 4 Raise Max, 4 Gordon, and 4 Trafalgar Law. You could definitely drop 2 to 3 of these if you want to. Maybe go down to like, you know, 4 Gordons and 2 Raise Max, or 1 Raise Max, something along those lines. Or split it down the middle, maybe do 2 and 2 or 3 and 3, however you want to mix that. But some of the choices that I use, I still think this Purple Law card is just an incredible tech card. Because if you could pop this down and hit 2 cards out of their hand, there is very rarely a situation where that's not good. You know what I mean? It's just so strong. This Kid and Killer card is going to carry the deck so hard once it hits. Like this card is so good, guys. And then I go down to 2 Zoros in the OP0, or excuse me, the EB-01 list, because, you know, you've got Kid and Killer now kind of in its place. And once EB-01 hits for this deck, it's complete, guys. Like, I don't think it gets anything that it needs from OP-07, just a few cards that could help it. But yeah, this deck, I'm feeling very confident about this one. And then last but not least, we got Red Yellow Sabo. This has not changed since I last showed you guys. This is the exact same list I showed you all a while back in a previous video. I'm just running Hyper Aggression with a small Land of Wano package where I've got the Kikanojos, the Hiyoris, and the Momonosuke's, and then it is playing almost like Black Yellow Luffy, but the red version. Like I said, having black with the Sabos, we have red with the Rush Luffy's. And with red comes Zoro and Kid and Killer once that's available in EB-01. So again, guys, this list feels incredible. This is the kind of list I think can beat up on a locals, like for sure. Because especially if they've never seen this version, because a lot of people will have never seen. Like if you have a lot of casuals at your locals who maybe they don't watch all the videos and stuff that are out there, like available to the community, like through you know, content creators. I don't think this list is going around and making its rounds or anything like that. And who knows, maybe it's not that good. We'll have to see what happens. But I do feel like a deck that has this much offensive capability, like offensive firepower. Guys, look at this. 4, 8, 12, 16 rush cards, 8 cards that can come in from the trigger, 2K counters that are drawing you cards, or you can use them as 2K counters or to draw cards from. Excuse me, I can't even talk right now with Flampy and Hiyori. And then you've got this like fallback package of like, oh man, I took a little too much damage too quickly. Okay, well I'll just gain a life this turn. And there's a cycle, there's a loop that you can do with this deck that's pretty disgusting when it comes to like Kikinojo, Hiyori, and Momonosuke, where it's like, okay, I will play out my Hiyori, my 2K counter. I'll play out my Hiyori so that I can set my Kikinojo as the next card. And remember, they have to be at 3 or less life for you to get the trigger. But anyway, so set it like that, where it's like, okay, this is my next card. Then they attack you, you take it, so you can play out your Kikinojo. The following turn, you swing 7 with your Kikinojo. You play out Momonosuke to put your Hiyori on top of your life, or the bottom if you want to, it doesn't matter. And then you use your leader effect, you attach 1 to your leader, put this card back on top of your life, and give your Momonosuke plus 2,000 power for the turn. It's just so nice, guys. But there is some flex room in here. I will say, like, these are just what I'm using because I have so many dead cards in hand. And Garp's just nice for trying to get your pieces, like, you know, the 4... or excuse me, the 8 2-cost guys and the 8 5-cost guys that you can get with him. Not a lot to search for, but that spot's kind of flex wiggle room, and technically so is this. Remember, guys, this is a hyper-aggressive, all-in offensive version of the deck. You're not really trying to do things that are defensive. But if you need to, you know, there is the option where maybe you have this card in hand and you have a Hiyori. Well, you could play out your Hiyori and then put this card on the top of your life if it was like your last life card. And then you could put this on top of it later with Momonosuke or something like that. There are tricks you can do. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. All right, guys, that's about it. If you got any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to put them down in the comment section below. And please do not forget to like and subscribe if you've not already, guys. And until next time, peace.